Nonprofit TV is the community give back segment to PSI TV. Hi, Trudy Behrman here, and we have been blessed, so we have to be a blessing back in return. Nonprofit TV serves those who serve the voiceless, the helpless, and deserving groups, and help them have another way to reach their audience, those who need what they do, and so they can also get more exposure for greater awareness and funding for what they do. Today I have an awesome guest with me, Sid Pedinti, and he runs Powered by Grants, which is a nonprofit organization. Now, Sid is an attorney and a grant specialist who has filed help for over 1,000 entrepreneurs, as well as filed nonprofits and helped more than 100 of them unlock funding in the form of grants. Now, this is amazing. So we're on Nonprofit TV talking to the nonprofit grant guy. Sid, so nice to have you on Nonprofit TV.
Thank you for having me here. It's a real pleasure.
Awesome.
Love your mission of connecting with nonprofits and getting their voice heard.
Sweet. So tell me a little bit about Powered by Grants. What's the mission of Powered by Grants?
Yeah, no, good question. Powered by Grants is an organization that I created which helps individuals, business owners who have big dreams, big hearts, and big missions essentially go through the process of creating a nonprofit, structuring a website, turning their message, their mission, their dreams into reality through a philanthropic and educational angle. And then, of course, we go ahead and get them grants. And, so to speak, we get them powered by grants. And that's what the entire program is about. How to manage their nonprofit, how to manage their for-profit businesses, how to go and have an impact in the world, make money, have an impact, and gain more freedom at the same time. So that's the program.
Well, your program has really made some waves ever since you got started, which I believe is about a year now. You've had
about a year, yeah, just over a year.
Short year, you have made some waves and got the attention of the amazing Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I have been blown by that and very, very humbled. It's not something I expected or even applied for it. I was just doing what I do, which is helping entrepreneurs. I've been doing this for about 15 years in different capacities. First, through my law firm, I became a lawyer because I thought I could have a really deep impact. And then I realized over the years, I've filed thousands of nonprofits through my law firm. And I realized there's a lot of gaps in the market. There's different individuals and specialists, as they call them, or they call themselves. And each of them advise an individual in different ways. So first, there's individuals who want to file a nonprofit. For example, they go to an attorney. He or she advises them a specific way. Then they need a website, and their website specialists give all kinds of contradicting advice based on their expertise. Then they need a grant expert, and the grant experts, again, they don't know anything about the legal process or the website process. They only know what they do, and so they give very specific advice. Finally, when you get the grants, you need a marketer who can help you monetize the grant, and all their expertise is in marketing. And so there are a lot of gaps in this industry, and I faced them myself 5 years ago when I wanted to create my own nonprofit. It took me, a lot of back and forth. I spent a lot of money talking to different individuals, running, 2 steps forward, 3 steps backward. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's got to be a more efficient way. And after 2 years of worth of research, I discovered that there was nobody in the market that was putting all these different dots together, connecting the dots for people with big hearts. And, I saw a lot of my friends who wanted to file nonprofits discouraged because of this complex process, and which is, a pretty sad reality, because there are people out there with big hearts who want to give back, but the complexities of this process deter them from it. And so that was kind of why I started to do what I do. And, in that process, connect the dots for entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and also in that process, be able to monetize many of these nonprofits with funding. And so it goes way beyond funding, where we're helping them create revenue from the nonprofit, And so now what started off as a very simple concept of just helping a few people turned into all I do. I shut down my law firm, so to speak. I still practice nonprofit legal advice and give that, but I use it in a different way where I'm able to monetize my knowledge in a slightly different angle and ensure that my clients have all the other processes laid out for them through various resources, through coaching, through consulting, through the hands-on work that we do. And so I'm glad that Dean and Tony Robbins handpicked one of my masterminds, private grants, and out of 34,000 other businesses in that group. So it was very, very humbling to know that I'm on the right path here. So time to blow up this mission.
Yes, and I want to just add to that. I have friends who have formed with the state. They're a nonprofit, but they have not gotten their 501c status because, and I know they've been waiting years. They've been, back and forth. I personally used an expert and I, fast tracked. And I think that's the benefit of using an expert, especially a legal expert who knows how to navigate that waters and just, fast track that thing, because sometimes it's just, the time that's been added to this line is more out of ignorance than anything else. So
absolutely. And even when I first started my own nonprofit, although I've been filing nonprofits and helping people file them, when I decided to go on this journey and, I was like, all right, maybe it's time for me to start filing a nonprofit and educate people on this. It literally took me 2 years to put all these pieces together, from the time that you get the approval to how do you structure the website, how do you get the funding, how do you monetize the funding, how do you stay in compliance. And now lastly, even after all that, that's just the beginning of it. How do you go in the marketplace and actually have an impact so you can make money? We all have bills to pay. We all have big dreams, and everything requires money. Even if you want to give philanthropy, you need money to go and invest in philanthropy and give back. So how do you make it run like a business and at the same time make more money through this and give back more, have more impact, and lastly, have more freedom by doing this, so that you're not, the complexities of the nonprofit sometimes deter people. Oh, Sid, I already have a business. That's not something I want to do in addition. Well, you don't have to if you fuse the models in a way. And that was essentially my mission. And that's my mission now, is to teach people how to do this so that the nonprofit is a natural extension of what they're already doing. Most business owners are educated in some form of education, right? They have to educate the customer before somebody hires you, whether it's a lawyer, a doctor, a physician, an e-commerce entrepreneur, a coach. There's the sales call that somebody does is always the educational call on the benefits of using them or using their services. What if there was a way to get all that separated and put that through the nonprofit so you get recognition for it? Nobody cares about free calls. I was an attorney giving away hundreds of these consultations a year. Nobody cared about them. But ever since I put them through the nonprofit, all of a sudden it's impact. I can measure how many free sales calls I gave away and turn those into educational calls. And now all of a sudden I can equate and say, this is X number of dollars that I've put away from the table that I've given away for free. So it's just a different way of looking at the entire equation. And I definitely encourage all business owners to open a nonprofit. It's, there's a lot of advantages to it.
Yeah, and we over here at PSI, we definitely have one, and it is exactly like you say, an extension, the have more piece. We want people to be more, give more. And here's the other thing I want to add to that. I want to just help the audience to understand that, there is a slight nuance difference between running a for-profit and a nonprofit. And when you're doing a nonprofit, it's not business as usual, guys, because when you're going to get money from other organizations, your website can't just be a website. It's got to meet certain criteria if you Correct. Are looking for money to be given to your nonprofit organization. So having said that, I know you kind of said it, but I want it to be very, very clear to those who are listening. So just who exactly benefits? I know you kind of said it, but let's just be very clear. Who exactly benefits from working with Powered by Grants?
My core customers are actually for-profit business owners, regular business owners and entrepreneurs, new ones or even existing ones. Most of my clients are existing business owners who have, they want to grow their business, they want to educate more people, they want to have a deeper impact, but they're not sure how to do it. And there's, they might be, they might find ways that in their business they may not find ways to grow. They may have hit a capacity and they're looking for alternatives. And this is a great way. On what I do is I coach for-profit business owners to connect back with their purpose, create a purpose in life, right? Create something bigger than just revenue. So you can focus on impact. Ultimately, whether it's a product or service that you sell, you're impacting somebody's life through it. Even if it's some simple thing, it impacts somebody's life who's giving you money, their hard-earned money. And so that is really what I try to do, is help people think beyond just revenue, start to get them to focus on impact, start focusing on change in the marketplace, educating people, changing somebody's perspectives, things like that. And through that angle, opening up nonprofits and extending that as a part of their business. So for-profit business owners, for the most part, most of my clients are professionals, lawyers, doctors, e-commerce professionals, entrepreneurs in various industries, music, in acting, all kinds of stuff. And so it's a model that fits most business owners, as long as they can keep their business hat on when they approach it, when they start running the nonprofits. So that's my main criteria when I tell people: leave your business hat on, don't take it off. It's still a business, it's still an incorporation at the end of the day, and you have to treat it like one.
Yes. So they decide to engage with you, Sid. What can they expect in this connection?
Yeah, and so we have a whole program laid out where we're literally holding their hand through each and every step, from the time of creating their mission to putting together their website, to the legal process, the state registration, the IRS, structuring their website, the grant applications, getting the funding from different organizations, managing the funding, growing their business, advising them on what they can do to better their conversion rates, and finally, even staying in compliance. So A to Z, the whole gambit of nonprofits, everything involved in that world. And my favorite is really fusing the model of for-profits and nonprofits, and how do you combine those worlds. So a big portion of what I do goes towards the mentality and the strategies that relate to how a for-profit business owner, a regular business owner, can open a nonprofit and use the goodwill, use the benefits that it offers to not only obviously give back, but also grow their business in the process, grow themselves, and create good karma in the whole process.
And do it legally.
Absolutely, ethically and legally at every step of the way.
All right. So Sid, how can people follow up with you?
So yeah, my website, poweredbygrants.org. Very straightforward process. I have some training videos, content, examples of 30 different industries or nonprofits that we work with, their websites, so people can take a look and connect with the missions that they have there. And it's a pretty straightforward process. Or they can get in touch with you, and you can translate it back to me. And I think even the work you're doing is amazing and giving nonprofits a voice. So, very impressed with it.
Well, I thank you so much, Sid, for that. Is there anything else that you think you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Absolutely. One last word. I mean, I know a lot of people think nonprofits and they think I have to give away everything I have for free, or this is something that's not for me, or it's for the rich philanthropists, which is not true at all. I want people, my whole reason for starting this is to educate people that nonprofits, when they think of nonprofits, don't think about it as organization, category profits. And if you think about universities, associations, the Bar Association, all multi-billion corporations who charge for what they do. I went to law school, they twist my arm for give $350,000. It's lifetime ROI to see that change mentality, change perspectives. And so nonprofit is necessarily go away. It's a way to business to help beyond revenue. That's my final message to people watching, actors, or people in this industry about nonprofit ad corporation that will be on revenue.
Is this person or is it qualify that piece?
Yeah, I work blindly. So, most of mine are US and Canada for the most part. I have entered before, tested this 15 countries: India, England, France, China, Japan, Australia, Indonesia, Brazil, the certain parts here in Canada. Absolutely, got the process in their country, apply plans, approved, helping their business, virtual settings.
Sweet. Well, if you're sitting power.org, if you have a business and you have balance from art, do you know your organization? Please go talk to them, help you see how you can expand reach forums and really make waves. That's why it's free my MBA and just helping companies expand.
Absolutely. Thanks again. Yeah, amazing.